How's it going, YouTube? Hi Drax, and in today's video we're going to be doing a complete sparking Zenkai tier list. Right here we have all the sparking units, and let's get this straight out of the way, but we're going to be putting these three up into Z tier and we're just going to leave them there. We're not going to speak about them because we already know how good they are and what they do. I do want to keep this a bit shorter than usual. That's why I did not include the EX units, because I did notice that the video before with the Zenkai, no, not the Zenkai, the LF units tier list did drag on quite a bit. But let's go ahead and put Beerus in A tier. Beerus is A tier because he has aged quite a bit and he's not as good as he once was. Similarly, let's put Super Saiyan Goku, this Broly, and where is he? Goku Black, both Goku Black, Goku, and the Broly here are all D tier units. It's not their fault really. They were the first units to get a Zenkai, and with how enormous their stats were at the time, their unique abilities have definitely suffered in the long run. All three of them, maybe Goku sees a little bit of more play than the other two guys because of his Zenkai ability being buffing Red Saiyans. But he's definitely not on the tier. Neither of them are on being actually usable in a match anymore, at least. Let's go with Super Saiyan Blue Goku. He's definitely a double S tier unit for me. He tanks well, he does insane damage at a later point in the match. He has an ult that restores, or a main ability that restores Vanish, and his ult hits like a truck. He does everything, and he can be a very valuable unit if you leave him on the field for quite a bit of time. Similar to him is going to be, where is he? Trunks. Trunks, another tanky unit. He does a variety of things himself. He reduces sub count, he gets a blue card, he does insane damage. You know how pretty good he is. It's just that you don't see him very often because... Actually, you probably would have because of hybrids being quite relevant right now. But yeah, another double S tier unit for me. Broly. Broly is an S tier unit. He's not double S purely because his damage is quite on the low side these days. He still does pretty well against blue units per se, but against type neutral he's not really doing that much outside of against hybrids and Saiyans, because he gets increased damage against them. And with how prevalent Regen and all these other teams are, female warriors or androids and stuff, you're definitely not going to see this guy performing super well outside of his fighting against probably two of the common teams in the game. But then again, his team himself is not that strong these days. I mean, you can run him on Super Saiyans, but you would rather run him on Movie Sagas where he's supposed to be. He's definitely aged a lot better than the other Zenkais, especially with his green-blue combo, and his tanking ability is still pretty good when he is type neutral or type advantage. Fat Boo is another S tier unit for me. Actually, he's probably double S tier, purely because he locks in strike cards when he swaps in, and then he also has the lock-in for characters for 5-time accounts. I believe it's to be 3 times or twice. That's a very big deal in this meta right now, where swapping is quite constant, and locking in a unit can be the meaning of getting a Rising Rush off or killing that unit. So yeah, definitely a double S tier unit. On top of the fact he has a team-wide heal that basically makes the Regen team extremely strong. So you're going to bring him regardless of what other units you have on your Regen. Even if he's a Zenkai bench, he's still going to be on that team. Fury Broly, another free-to-play, or one of the free-to-play Zenkai, is definitely an A tier unit. He does get card draw speed. He does something unique where he gives sustained damage cut to units where he swaps out. So that's pretty good. Other than that, he's still probably A tier because of how tanky he is, but he's definitely going to be replaced on a lot of the teams he's run. Oh well, run on, I should say. Zenkai Piccolo, LF Piccolo. LF Piccolo is definitely a SS unit. He's definitely a double S tier unit. He does a lot of good stuff, and his ability to one-shot units with his blue card green card combo is quite similar to the Broly here, except he does it a lot better because he has a substantial increase against Saiyans. So he's definitely going to one-shot a lot of characters. that being a regen unit, he also has access to a lot of healing, so even if you do take damage, he's probably going to heal that off relatively easily. Okay, Broly. Broly is a A-tier Zenkai. They kind of did him dirty because of Bardock. Knowing what Bardock could do with the Broly that is a bit too strong, they definitely nerfed him quite a bit. But he does have some good qualities, being the going neutral 2 times in his base form, and then swapping out into his transform state does give him another extra 2. So he does have that going for him where he's neutral, but he doesn't tank well, and his damage is quite lackluster outside of Super Saiyans. So definitely an A-tier Zenkai right here. Bardock. Bardock is definitely an S-tier Zenkai. He does quite a bit for his team. They practically made him so good for his team that they have to nerf other Saiyans, Super Saiyans on his team, just so that the team itself is not too broken. His passives are still the same. He does extremely well. He has card draw speed. His ult is restoring vanish, so he still does quite a few things that are still pretty good. So he's definitely an S-tier unit right there. Cooler is the exact same as Bardock. He's just the Super Saiyan Bardock of the Lineage of Evil team. He does have an edge over Bardock, being that he does have blast armor, but they fall into the same category with how good they are, respectively. This yellow Piccolo here is the Legends Road Piccolo. He's definitely A tier. He's not the best, he's not the worst, he's right in the middle. I wouldn't really put him too high in what he does, because he is a supporting unit, so to speak. Honestly, if you have this Piccolo here, or the Demon King Piccolo somewhere down here at the bottom, you're probably gonna run... Yeah, sorry about that. I had to make a cut. A bird just smashed into my window. But like I was saying, you're probably not gonna use this Piccolo that often, especially on the regen team with the double Piccolos here. Speaking of Demon King Piccolo, he is also going to be an S-tier Zenkai, purely because he gets he nullifies endurance, he gets card draw speed, he does extra damage and poison, he steals Dragon Balls, all that good stuff. He's definitely an S-tier unit. A little bit lower than this Piccolo, purely because Piccolo is a more defensive type, he's more strike orientated, and with how strong regen is, I feel like he's better. Let's go with Kid Goku. Kid Goku is another A-tier unit. He has fallen off quite a bit. He was a Z-tier unit for quite a long time. He has fallen off because his defenses aren't as strong, but he still has a very strong kit. Can be the best yellow unit on a Saiyan team if you do not have Angel Vegeta, because he does have endurance, he does give support, and he does have an ultimate that works very well and very strong against regen units. Namek Goku. Namek Goku is definitely a double S-tier unit, probably just outside of Z-tier. Honestly, I would actually put him in Z-tier, but looking at the Z-tier units themselves, they're just a little bit stronger, or on a little bit higher plane than Namek Goku. Namek Goku's whole strength lies with his blue card being so dangerous, and that it can counter literally anything except strike attack, not strike attack, tap attacks, key blasts, the tap key blasts, and rising rush. He can counter any other move. He can counter an ultimate, a blue card, a green card if it's an AoE green card. So he does counter a lot of the stuff, and he does insane damage as the last man standing. Purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I am definitely going to put him at a S tier unit. He has fallen away a little bit due to the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Vegeta and Namek Goku combo, but he's still a pretty good unit. He still does an insane amount of damage. He still has a great kit. In terms of Zenkai, he's definitely slightly below these guys here, because he doesn't tank as well as the top row right here, but his damage is on par, or not better, or actually a little bit better than some of the units here. So he is going to be sitting in S tier for that reason. Free-to-play Trunks is definitely a B tier unit. He has too many restrictions on what he needs to do to get his damage up. You do need to have a Gohan on the team to be getting that. And even if you did run him on hybrids, you're probably going to run this future Trunks over this Gohan here because of how much better this Trunks is. So he's not going to be that good, and he's definitely a B tier unit. Vegeta is definitely a C tier unit himself. He's just slightly above the bottom 3. He doesn't offer much to a team outside of his Zenkai ability, but you can use him. He is usable. He does have Zenkai stats. He's just a very weak Zenkai overall compared to everyone else on this list. Let's go with Gotenks. Gotenks is going to be A tier as well. He has fallen off a lot as well. His main usability right now is tanking and getting that reload on the main ability. He does have some other strong points like getting some damage inflicted up on using cards, but he's not on the level of the other 3 right here. Okay, am I missing any other free-to-play Zenkais that are Legends Road? No. Okay, let's go with Namek Goku here. Namek Goku, the Spirit Bomb Goku, is definitely a A tier unit. He's very good, but like I said, if you have this Goku here, you're probably not even using him on that team. He is free to play and he's extremely good, but honestly, I don't see enough of him, or I don't use him enough in situations where he's going to come back in a 1v3, or he's going to completely overturn a match. He doesn't do as much damage as these guys here, and his main gimmick is that his blue card does have feint on it, which is only a percentage chance and not guaranteed. So let's move on from the Spirit Bomb Goku. Let's go with Turles. Turles, in my opinion, is going to be a B tier unit. Pretty much unnecessary. He does have some strong abilities against Sun Family, but other than that, he's not really useful outside of that. His dependence on green cards is what really holds him back. If he did get damage increased just from existing like a lot of the other units do, I feel like he'd be higher, but he's definitely a B tier Zenkai in that respect. Okay, Frieza. Frieza is an A tier Zenkai as well. Very balanced. They definitely made him a more of a Saiyan Slayer. A lot of his damage and uniques are tied behind Saiyans, so he's definitely not going to perform as well against a Regen, Androids, or Hybrid Saiyan team. Hence why he is an A tier, but like I said, he's similar in the way of Broly here, where he does get increased damage from Cooler, so his damage does look a little bit better than what it should be. So he's definitely an A tier Zenkai in my opinion here. Piccolo. Piccolo is actually... I'm actually going to leave him A tier for now because he just released. I haven't fought enough against him to accurately give a prediction, but I fought him maybe 3 or 4 times so far, and from what I'm seeing, he's definitely an A tier unit. Maybe S tier, depending on the situation and on the team is run. But most of the time that I fought him, the opponent did not use him in a good respect and definitely squandered his abilities. So I'm definitely going to see him be an A tier for now. This is kind of like jumping between here and there because he just released. There's no solid concrete proof that he's going to be an A tier for forever. But in my opinion, he's kind of here and there right now because of his going in neutral for 40 time accounts. Gohan. Gohan is actually an A tier unit as well. Again, not many people have him as Zenkai 7. He was one of the units where you have to pay the premium 20,000 CCs to get him up to Zenkai 7. But he's also got some pretty good damage increases against Hybrid Saiyan, not Hybrid Saiyans, Regen units similar to this Gohan here. So he does do pretty well. He does do a ton of damage. It's just that his kit has aged a little bit, so he's definitely sitting in A tier. Metal Cooler, definitely a B tier unit. He does do a good ways of disrupting opponents' combos, but other than that, his team-wide heal and his lackluster damage overall definitely puts him down into B tier for me. A lot of these units here often do a lot more in respect to damage. He does tank pretty well. He's a very good disruptor, but in a meta where tanking is not always the case and where damage reigns supreme, he does fall away quite a bit. Let's go with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is definitely going to be a double S tier unit. He's not Z tier purely because, like I said, these guys are in a whole different tier of power, but he does everything that he's supposed to, and I definitely like to see him up there as a double S. Likewise, Vegeta is going to be an S tier unit purely because he's more of a glass cannon, but he does do a supreme job damaging the units with blast cards, so he's definitely an S tier unit in that respect. Android 16, I'm going to put him in B tier for one reason. He's kind of been replaced by Super 17 on androids. He does do a good job, but it's kind of fallen away quite a bit. His death buffs are good, his awaken skill is a KO for him, unfortunately, but he is pretty good nonetheless, and if you do have him, he can be a bit of a problem or a wall to get over, but he's just lacking in terms of damage. Speaking of green androids, I'm going to put Super 17 at S tier. Actually, probably a double S tier because of what he does. He can cover in on a blast card and steal ki. He does have a similar ability to the future Gohan, where he basically stops you for a split second and he can combo you if you do not have Vanish. Similarly, his ultimate does give paralysis, and he can be a pretty annoying unit to go against because of how defensive he is. Cell is going to be a C tier unit. I don't see this guy anywhere outside of Tournament of Power. You don't see him on benches anywhere, and honestly, he doesn't do enough of anything to be good. He's just like this Vegeta, and you're probably just going to use him for Z ability anyways. Trunks is definitely going to be a B tier unit, probably A tier, but like I said, Gohan being the red hybrid Saiyan, red Son family unit, you're not going to see this Trunks very often outside of buffing him, and very rarely do you see a red purple team. But he does do some pretty good damage. I feel like it's underrated, so I'll just put him up here with this Gohan. I don't think he's as bad as these guys, so maybe an A tier is more respectful for him. He does tank pretty well. He does do some good damage. He has an ult. He does do a lot better than a lot of these units over here. God Vegeta is definitely going to be an S tier unit for me. He's not double S. His Omni cover change that's unlimited is one of the reasons why it's up here. He does fall short in the fact that his damage is conditional with his HP being higher than the enemy. He does get that extra damage and that strike card from that. That's why he's not double S and why he's on the same tier as these guys here. But like him, this GT Goku is not very good with blast damage. Honestly, I'd actually put him like probably here, actually C tier. You shouldn't have to Zenkai him just to deal with a yellow android. That's his whole gimmick. He is built to take on androids, and honestly, you're not going to do that if you're running this Vegeta. This Vegeta has more than enough bulk with this SJ4 Goku to take down androids himself. So he's definitely a C tier Zenkai. I think only his ult is the best thing about him. His ult is the best thing, and even that doesn't do that much damage. Android 21, A tier Zenkai, a free-to-play Zenkai, and one of the best free-to-play Zenkais ever released. Fighter Z collab, you can get her from that event. She inflicts them with damage up, so you do more damage to them every card she uses. She nullifies health restoration, so she's doing a ton of damage, and she's nullifying their ability to heal, so definitely an A tier Zenkai. Similar with this Caulifla, she can do a ton of damage, but easy to get around if she's running the wrong teams. Her with Android 18 can be a very devastating combo, but herself is only about an A tier unit. She does do extra damage against Saiyans, but that's about it. And a lot of the teams right now are not going to be Saiyans. Gogeta is actually going to be an A tier unit for me as well. He's not that good, he's not that bad. His ult is, again, like Broly's. It's not going to be... His damage outside of his ult and his blue card is not that great. Fusions, if you have a 7-star Vegeta Blue, you don't even need to Zenkai this guy. His defenses are the only reason you'd want to Zenkai him. But like I said, his unique of vanishing and getting vanished back twice, similar to the transforming God Vegeta, is definitely an ace in his kit, but he is not on the tier of these units here. And for the final units, Super Gogeta is definitely a double S tier unit. One of the best Super Saiyan units in the game. Definitely one of the units I was very eager to Zenkai myself. He just destroys. He reduces card cost. He reduces ultimate costs. He actually reduces the card cost of all his cards, except for green cards, I believe. Or I'm pretty sure he does that too. I just can't remember because I don't ever use the green card with him. But he does have everything. He has a counter. He has increased card draw speed. He gets key. He fits on Super Saiyans with Bardock, which is another big W right there. And probably one of the best Zenkais to ever release in the game, with the top list right here. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you agree with my tier list in most respects. Obviously, there are a lot of units on here that could be higher. Super Saiyan 3 for my liking should be like S+, just beneath double S tier. Similar with Vegeta, should be about S+. But in regards to the tier list, I think I've been pretty fair with my analysis of them. This tier list does look pretty fair. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. My name is Hydrax. I'll catch you all later.